Okay, everybody, how's it going? Welcome. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the shift Facebook is making to AI and machine learning and how that's totally changing the ad strategy that media buyers and marketing agencies are using. And if you're a business owner or you're running your own marketing, this is going to be especially relevant for you as well. So let's dig in. Let's find out, what does this mean for your ads, and how should you adjust your strategy moving forward, right? Okay, so Facebook has basically built a massive machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithm that analyzes user behavior across a broad range of topics and aspects, and we'll talk more about that later. But basically the point is that it's designed to show the particular content that people will engage with and is most relevant to them at the exact right time. And in fact, if you look at the Facebook, here, I'll pop it up just one second. Here we have, I'm going to lay out for you, if you take a look at the equation that Facebook uses to determine whose ads get shown and when, it looks like this. Total value equals your bid as an advertiser times the estimated action rates. And this is essential right here. Okay? Plus the value to the user. So I want you to notice two of the three things that determine how your Facebooks get bid for, your Facebook ads get bid for and compete against other people in the marketplace. Two of those three things that determine are the value and the likelihood of action that it's going to create in the user. So basically, Facebook is looking to optimize engagement and provide value to their users, and they're looking for people to do that through content and through marketing. And so advertisers that can do this the most effectively in their marketing are the ones who win. And so that's what you need to understand at the highest level. That's what the AI machine learning algorithm that Facebook has built is designed to do. Okay? Overall, Facebook says there are 5 main areas that you should change in your strategy to kind of meet the new algorithm that Facebook has announced. Okay, so these things have been out for a while. There's been quite a slow adoption to some of them because there's been a little bit of a misunderstanding about how they work. Naturally, people are already getting results. Their businesses are profitable. Their ads are profitable. That would mean that you don't want to change. Also, Facebook ads are a highly skill set intensive strategy. It takes a long time and a lot of practice to figure out how to do this effectively. And so if you've been doing it for a long time and Facebook just changes the game and tells you to do something else, you're naturally going to be hesitant. But I'm going to walk you through all these things, and we're going to figure out at the end of the day why this is the actual correct way to go about it. And then in other videos, if you'd like to click below, I'll link it. I'll show some videos of me actually implementing this strategy either in a new Facebook Business Manager or transitioning some of my clients who were on the old strategies into the new era. Okay, so these 5 strategies are: number 1, automated advanced matching. Okay, number 2, simplify your account structure. Number 3, use campaign budget optimization strategically, not all the time, but at the right time. We'll talk about that later. Number 4, use automatic placements rather than selectively choosing for placements. And then number 5, dynamic ads. And there's multiple different ways to use dynamic ads, especially when you're talking about e-commerce brands. So we'll talk about that a little bit more as well. So let's dig into this. Number 1 thing we're going to cover is the automatic matching. Okay, so this was a problem that was introduced, wasn't introduced, but was severely increased by the release of iOS 14. Okay, in the industry, it's called Intelligent Tracking Prevention Solutions, but everyone knows what it is. Basically, when Apple came out with iOS 14, your Facebook ads or YouTube ads or any kind of ads that were on your phone all of a sudden weren't delivering. CPMs, cost for conversions, everything skyrocketed and people were freaking out. So Both Google and Facebook and all the other major platforms have come out with ways to address this. It's taken some time. Google is still in the process of addressing this with Google Analytics 4. Depending on the time of this posting of this video, that may be completely rolled out. I have all of my Google Analytics accounts transitioned to Analytics 4, except for those that use third-party integrations like Eventbrite, which for some reason is still using Universal Analytics. But we'll go ahead today and we'll focus mostly on Facebook's solution to this problem, which is their introduction of advanced matching. Okay, so what is advanced matching? I mean, there's a lot of computer science and stuff behind it. We don't need to discuss it all in extreme depth, but the point here is that they're able to you're able to integrate Facebook with your products and services, your sites, your website, your whatever technology you use in your business much more closely than you were in the past. And you're able to share with them hashed data, which means that it's encrypted. You can share information like the customer name, email, phone number, purchase history, frequency, average order value, lifetime customer value, things like that. And you can do it actually with a lot more accuracy than you were able to do with the Facebook Pixel. So the Facebook Pixel is still in use, but is primarily blocked by these new anti-tracking solutions. So it's the best practice is actually to use a combination of all of them, and the new advanced matching strategies will eventually become the gold standard. If you don't know how to do that, click the link below. I've also got videos explaining how to integrate that into your business manager and your business and get all of that set up so that you can take advantage of the advanced matching. Okay, so another strategy of Facebook ads, basically when the iOS 14 thing hit, Facebook went back to the drawing board and they significantly ramped up their algorithm. Okay, so they discovered how to get their algorithm to find the audience for you, essentially. So Facebook is now in many cases recommending the use of broad target audience. That is a very different and a large departure from the way that it's traditionally been done, where you've tried to narrow down your audience to get the niche as tight as possible, and or you've used retargeting campaigns and lookalike audiences to try and create a perfect picture of what your ideal customer looks like. That way, you can still use it, but I'm gonna be honest, that way is no more. It's still helpful in some advanced strategies that we won't go into here. But for the most part, you're going to want to go ahead and use broad targeting. Now, the reason for that is because Facebook, if you take all of the restrictions off of Facebook, it can go out there and it can find exactly who is the right person for your offer or your product. And we're going to talk more about that. I think it's in the next slide. But I just want to quickly mention, so the old way of running ads was a lot of narrowly defined audiences, and you would make hundreds of changes rapidly. So you'd make a change, you'd wake up in the morning, you'd make like 100 changes, 100 new ads, you'd let it run all day, you come back in and you'd be like, what's working, what's not, you delete it, you add more, and you can keep doing that. That way is no more. So the new way is use a broadly defined audience. Okay, you want to use creatives and copy that are specific to the niche you're targeting. Those ad assets will be analyzed by the algorithm. Okay, so then the algorithm will put those in front of people who are the most likely to get value and to engage with them. So they're trying to balance the value for your business and brand as well as for the user. So the best way to do this, and I'll show, like I mentioned, if you click below, in a client business manager, I'll show this strategy. The way that I do it at the moment is we run a testing campaign, a outreach campaign, and then a main campaign. Okay. So in the testing campaign, you would run 3 times your average order, your budget would be 3 times your average order value. You run that for 3 days with a broadly defined audience, and that's where you put in all your different creatives. you test that for 3 days, and you're gonna find out what is working and what is not. Once you've identified your dream audience, you can then put that into a further testing campaign, and you can, if you want the algorithm to run for 7 days and get 50 conversions or more for the definition of your ideal audience. After that, the Facebook algorithm has started to learn exactly what your business is going after, and it will be associated with your ad account. You can then throw those ads into a campaign budget optimized campaign, and you can keep, as you get new ones that are winners, you can throw them in and you can keep throwing them in, and Facebook will automatically distribute the marketing dollars in the most effective way possible, which we're going to talk about again further on. Okay? So just a quick discussion of how does this auto matching work, what's happening behind the scenes. Well, like I mentioned, the device or the algorithm is looking for who's going to get the most value from this, what device do they usually use, where do they usually hang out, what audiences, what demographics and stuff. And the algorithm does that by using something called signals analysis. Okay, so every time someone does something on a Facebook or Meta application or software, it identifies a signal. So if you check in on your Facebook, that's a signal to Facebook that you spend time in this certain location. Here's how crazy it is. I have some examples listed here, but I want to talk about, it goes a lot further in depth than what I've discussed. So Facebook has actually come out and said this exact example. If you are an e-commerce brand and you're trying to sell summer hats, okay, the Facebook algorithm will identify people who stopped and looked at posts that had summer hats for a statistically significant amount of time, or people that liked pictures where people were wearing hats. So even if it's just a girl liking her friend's post and she was wearing a hat on vacation, the Facebook algorithm will know that that girl was wearing a hat and know that the other girl liked that picture, and will store that data away so that when your brand comes out and says, hey, we're trying to sell this hat, Facebook goes, that one girl might be interested in it if it's still statistically relevant and it's within a certain time frame. It will also show to people that have made those similar kinds of purchases in the past. It will show the ad to people who have been on your website or competitors' websites recently. There are so many different Facebook signals, and this is one of the ways in which humans just simply cannot match the power of AI. In general, in marketing, AI is to be used in combination with humans. But when it comes to advanced auto matching, the AI algorithm and the machine learning algorithms that are in play here are just like light years beyond what a team of marketers could ever put together. So it's actually a really exciting time to be marketing your brand online. Okay, the next thing, number 2, that Facebook recommends is simplifying your account structure. Okay, So what are we talking about here? We are talking about dramatic simplification and dramatic consolidation of your Facebook ad account structure. You want to have one campaign and one ad set per objective. It's actually okay to have multiple ad sets. I'm going to change this right here. But you definitely want to have just one campaign per objective. So, why is that? Well, a lot of marketers traditionally run their business manager in a way that looks like this one over here on the right. Okay. So if you have all these different campaigns and they're all targeting the same people for the same product or even a similar product, guess what? All of your campaigns are all competing with each other. So you're literally outbidding yourself in the ads process. So you want to avoid doing that. You want also consolidating and simplifying your account manager helps to increase your scaling ability. So a lot of issues can be encountered when you are running multiple campaigns for the same reason. So this helps you scale. It helps your ad sets compete stronger in the marketplace against other businesses and other advertisers. And it helps you actually lower your costs. Okay, so the idea here is that you want after you've done your prospecting and your testing and you're at your main campaign for your main objective, you want to put all of your ad sets and all of your ads into one campaign. Don't try and stagger their rollout. Don't try and, have some very complex strategy. It sounds counterintuitive, but the more simple it is, the better it's going to work out. So put everything down in one campaign. Give it a high enough budget, and this is key. You need to give a high enough budget for success to occur, for 50 results to occur within a 7-day period. And then let the Facebook algorithm figure it out, okay? It is designed to sort out the best possible solution. Okay, so campaign budget optimization. Campaign budget optimization has actually been out for quite a while now. A couple years, I want to say, at least. This is not nearly as new as all of the iOS tracking things, but there's still a lot of taboo around using campaign budget optimization. The traditional way of doing it was you would either give budgets at the ad set level, and you can still do that, and I actually do recommend it for testing and prospecting. But you want to do campaign budget optimization once you've done all of your testing and you figured out your copy and your creative and everything's rock solid and ready to go and it's working great, and you put it all into a campaign, and you either have your defined audience or you're using Facebook's wide audience optimization, and you either have your placement or you're using Facebook's placement. Once you've got all that together, you want to use campaign budget optimization, because as smart as you think you are, it turns out that the Facebook algorithm knows things better than we do. And in fact, here's an interesting thing I was talking to Facebook about. I asked them, a lot of clients and a lot of people will will have an ad running in their business manager, right? And it'll be performing, just hitting it out of the ballpark, kicking ass, performing so well. So naturally, they'll want to put that, they'll put that into a campaign budget optimization. They'll hit play and they'll expect that one to get the most budget from the algorithm. And then they'll see that it's not getting the most budget and they will back out. They'll be like, this thing doesn't work. Fair enough. I would have the same thought too. I did have the same thought when campaign budget optimization came out. Well, it turns out what's happening is the Facebook algorithm is actually thinking like 10 steps ahead. It's like a master chess player, okay? So it might have identified that ad set or that ad or whatever it is that you think is rock solid, that's killing it, might actually have a limited lifespan. And what I mean by that is that it's picking off the low-hanging fruit in your audience for your business, but it has identified that is shortly going to run out for you. Okay, so it's actually thinking on a little bit more of a long term, and it's trying to optimize for the best results over time. And so this is why a lot of clients will come to me and they want to run a campaign, and I want to know, I want to be very clear on what is your expected output and for what reason. Are we on a time frame? Those questions are very important, because if you give the Facebook algorithm certain constraints, like you're trying to run a promotion for a campaign that's going to end in 3 weeks, it's important that you let Facebook's algorithm know that when you set up the CBO, because if you let it know, then it might give higher priority to the lower hanging fruit, because you won't run out of the lower hanging fruit over that given period of time. But you need to be aware that it's going to take into account all of the things that are going on in your business manager, plus everything that's happened in the past and where it thinks you're going to go in the future. So for instance, one of my clients is a public event producer. If we're running an ad for each event, and they have, let's say for hypothetical reasons, they have 2 events a month and on the same topic. So let's say we're running an ad, we're running a campaign for each event date. So that's 2 event dates a month, 12 months a year. So all of a sudden we're running 24 ads potentially at the same time. Facebook is going to consider that going after the low-hanging fruit on the ad sets for January might eliminate those options for the ad sets for February and March, and so on and so forth. So you're actually going to see it optimizing things differently, and you're probably going to see more expensive results depending on how it chooses to optimize that. Just realize that it's taking all these things into account. Also realize that as smart as the AI is, there's always always smart marketers. It takes human intellect in combination with AI. You have to learn how to use it properly. So to combat that situation for my client, I might suggest, or I might test out a campaign that is just advertising that event on a general level, not necessarily for specific dates, and then leads the prospect, once they click on the ad, to a landing page that gives them the options of the dates they'd like to take a look at and choose. And so that way we could run one campaign and optimize for all results instead of optimizing for 24 different dates. So that's just a abstract example of that. Think about how that potentially applies to your business as well. Okay, so the next one is very simple, automatic placements. I think a lot of people are familiar with this at this point. And to me, it's kind of a no-brainer, but we're going to talk about this. So, because a lot of clients, a lot of companies, a lot of advertisers have optimized their creatives and copy for a specific placement, and they've run tests, and they've identified that maybe running things on Reels or maybe running things on the news feed is what gets them the best results. So they don't even want to mess with anything else. And that is understandable. For those clients, I always suggest running a test between automatic placements and specific placements to see which one is better. Because the truth is that, like I was talking about the low-hanging fruit with campaign and budget optimization, the same thing occurs with automatic placements. So you might ask the Facebook algorithm to run your ad with automatic placements, and it might actually identify some key areas that'll boost your ROAS or your ROI by knocking out maybe just even the low-hanging fruit. Maybe you run primarily newsfeed campaigns, but it realizes that if you want to run Instagram Reels now and then, you actually boost your results by 15%. So those are the kinds of things that automatic placement can do for you. So now let's also talk quickly about optimizing your creatives and your copy for different placements. So Facebook has some great tools for this for marketers, and they'll actually let you run non-optimized ads in different placements. So for instance, you might have seen in the past like a square picture on an Instagram story. What that might have been actually is a Instagram feed square picture ad that was put into a story by automatic placements to see how it works. So you can do that. It is still definitely better to use mobile optimized assets. So especially placement optimized ad sets. So if you're going to produce a certain creative and a certain copy, you're going to want to try and come up with variations of that that are specific to the placement that it's going to be used in. So it's pretty easy to do. For instance, there's a different size for Instagram, regular Instagram photos than there is for stories, and there's a different size for newsfeed than there is for stories, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're working with any professional digital marketing team or creative director, they can spit out tons of different versions of those. You can even do it if you're just using like something simple like Adobe Express and you're making your own creatives. They have a really easy to use resizing tool. So I would recommend doing that. Facebook has actually run different studies and discovered that optimizing your creative for the specific mobile use it's going to be seen in increases ROAS by up to 96%, which is a pretty substantial amount, okay? So if you haven't gathered, automatic placements is the 14 different areas across all of the Meta assets in all of their different apps, including Messenger and WhatsApp, anywhere that they are online. They have 40 different ways that advertisements can be displayed to the user. So if you use automatic placements, it will optimize and automatically shift different spending to different opportunities depending on what the algorithm is predicting and seeing. And one more final note, this is important. Automatic placement and campaign budget optimization are designed to work hand in hand, okay? They're designed to work together. So if you can turn both of those on together on your campaigns, you're gonna see a significant lift in ROAS. And over here on the right, this is actually a study done by Facebook when they introduced automatic placements. They found that on average, people experience a 2.1 times lift, 71% increase, 71% decrease in conversion costs, and an increase of 7% in reach, which is pretty good. So that could transfer to thousands or hundreds of thousands, or in the long run, millions of dollars for your business. So it's something that I would recommend. Okay, last but definitely not least is dynamic ads. Now, anyone who runs Facebook ads in 2023, 2022 definitely knows about dynamic ads. They've been around for a while. They're fantastic. I'd highly recommend using them if you don't use them already. All of my clients, we run dynamic ads in some form for them. I don't actually typically use dynamic ads in testing. In my experience, through all the ads that I've run, it's best to do your testing separately. You get the most abstract A to B testing when you don't combine your assets in a dynamic ad. I like to use dynamic ads for the final ad campaign, using campaign budget optimization and automatic placement and all the other tools that Facebook has prescribed all together in one. So what is a dynamic ad? If you haven't seen it before, let me actually just give you a quick example. Okay, guys. Here we are in one of my ad managers for one of my clients. I want to go ahead and show you what a dynamic ad placement looks like. So we're actually going to go ahead and get in here. So on the ad set level, this is a CBO campaign. On the ad set level, you're going to have the option to use dynamic ads. Dynamic ads, you click it, you're going to get in here. You're going to have right here the option to upload a whole bunch of different assets. So actually, this was like one of the last final versions of this campaign for this client. So we had narrowed it down to a pretty small number of assets, but I would run up to 5, even 10. You can run 10 different variables in here if you've got 10 winners. So we're running 2 different winners that we had right here. You can have different primary text. Oh, I can't edit this because this is an expired campaign. So you can have different primary text, headlines, descriptions, call to actions, and all that good stuff. So when you take a look at your preview, you're going to actually see that you have different. You can see all the different options, right, and how it's going to display. So e-commerce brands specifically also can do catalog dynamic ads. So those are really cool. So that basically means you would upload every single product in your catalog. You can also do this, I see it less frequently, but I do it occasionally for my clients with service-based businesses. You can upload all of your offers in a catalog. So what is that going to do? Basically, when someone sees that ad, so first it's going to do the same optimization that it would do otherwise. So actually, this is the example right here I was talking about earlier with the hat. So if someone sees the algorithm will find the people who are most likely to purchase a hat. So then it will show them a catalog. The algorithm might choose to show them just the different hats in your catalog. Or if you're a broad clothing store, they might choose to show them all the different summer clothes in the catalog. So the person can click on the ad and it will actually pull up a in Facebook storefront where they can scroll through your different product lines. The final word I want to say about dynamic ads is that recently a new feature was rolled out in dynamic ads, which allows the expansion of audiences. So that is a feature that's working in concert with Facebook's push for broad audience targeting. And that will allow your campaign to be expanded to a wider audience based on the people that are interacting with your dynamic ads if Facebook thinks that it'll be useful. It also can expand your dynamic ads to use different assets that are maybe not included or not specified if it thinks that that's going to cause a conversion. So that is a very new feature. And in general, I would say that it's best practice to go ahead and take advantage of anything that Facebook is pushing. I've noticed not only does the Facebook algorithm work really well, I mean, you're talking about billions of dollars of computer science, engineering, and intellect that's gone into this thing, but also the more you use the features that Facebook is trying to get its marketers to use, the more Facebook is going to reward you with positive results. They like to see people using their features. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful in helping you understand how you can adjust your strategy to go ahead and take advantage of the Facebook AI algorithm. This algorithm is constantly expanding, so I try and make an update to this video every couple of months if it's necessary. Also, if you want to just hop on a call with me, discuss how things are going with your business, how your ads are running, and you want to maybe get some insight on how this algorithm or these topics that we discussed today might be impacting the results that you're getting, feel free to go ahead and click below. You can access my website. You can give me a call. You can send me an email. All of that information is below. If you or your business is looking for a marketing agency, please go ahead and send us an email or fill out our online form online. We can get connected. We'll go ahead and build a roadmap for you. You can either take that, hit the ground running and do it all yourself, or if you'd prefer, you can go ahead and hire our company, American Freedom Media, to implement those marketing strategies for you, and together we can scale your business to insane heights. I succeed when you succeed, and my goal is to make sure that everyone is successful and happy. All right. So let's not forget, let's do a quick recap. The 5 most important things that you need to implement in your campaigns moving forward to take advantage of the Facebook AI is: number 1, automated advanced matching; number 2, account simplification; number 3, campaign budget optimization; number 4, automatic placement; and number 5, dynamic ads. All right. Good luck to you, and we'll see you in the new year.